Okay. Let's get started. The headset you get off that thing right there. And you basically talk into the mic. Once I press this red dot and it stays, you can basically talk into it. And we're just gonna get started on some of the topics that you know. You know a bunch about, some of the sports, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't say a bunch, but I have like good knowledge.
You have like decent knowledge about those.
Decent knowledge for sure.
See?
Decent knowledge.
That's all you need. Okay, it's not gonna be like too much. I'm gonna try not make it too much. But NFL, stuff like that.
Okay. What are like the topics of your of your questions?
Like basically we just talk about like stuff like, for example, the Super Bowl's happening.
Okay.
Basically in a couple of days we'll go over that, what's the spread, who's the game changers. And then we could talk about the trades that happened over the NBA season, this weekend with Luka and De'Aaron Fox. So that's pretty much what
De'Aaron Fox, he went to the Spurs, huh?
Yeah, that trade.
I was seeing stuff about that.
So we're
I
gonna
didn't know if that was true.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we're just gonna discuss stuff on that.
Crazy.
And then like any trades or like X factors for the game on Sunday. So
Okay.
sometimes I would talk about college football, but that's kind of over. We're not really gonna get into that.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my second episode of Game Day Gridiron. This is your host CJ, and I'm here with a special guest, my boy Dylan Ballard.
Hello.
This is my G right here, man. For those of you that don't know, he's a very, very big sport head. He loves his Los Angeles Rams, right? You from LA, right?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really mess with my Rams.
You don't?
I don't. I'm a big Falcons fan because I got family in Atlanta. But I am a Lakers fan, my GOAT. Or not my GOAT.
Which GOAT?
But LeBron.
LeBron.
Even though Curry better. You heard it here first.
So wait, how are you gonna call him the GOAT and say Curry's better?
Because it's not. Because that's like what everybody's gonna agree with. That's what's gonna get the views, They know all the bronze sexuals and whatnot. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, he knows he's the GOAT. But just saying Curry's better. He does more for his team and such.
Dang, I ain't never heard somebody explain it like that. But you get something new every day. But like, why don't you rock with your Rams, bro? Like, what's wrong with them, man?
Nothing's wrong with them necessarily. I fuck with Matthew Stafford. I'm great player. I think he is probably like one of the best like arm talents in the league for sure. Cooper Kupp, he's cool. I don't know. It was just never intrigued me really. I was never really rocking with him like that. My favorite players were like back in the day were like Julio Jones and like Deion Sanders. So like I always gravitated to the Falcons.
The Falcons, which makes sense, but like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I would be absolutely devastated from what happened a couple of years ago. I don't know if
bro,
you know back.
I feel like we talk about it too much, bro.
He knows.
Because that's like a whole thing, bro. That's like, people talk about it too much. You know what I mean? Like, 28-3. That's the only thing you have to say. And when's the last time your team was in the Super Bowl, though? So. I don't know, bro. I feel like that was in the past. That was so 2016, bro.
2016.
That was so 2016, bro. We got Bijan Robinson now. We got my GOAT Drake London. We got AJ Terrell, dog on the defensive side, underrated. Jesse Bates, underrated. Next year's our year. Guaranteed.
Next year's your year.
Guaranteed we win in the Super Bowl.
Okay. Well, I mean, how do y'all think about y'all's quarterback situation right now? Because Kirk Cousins didn't have a good year.
And it's a process. You have to think about that. It's a process. You don't see success until you work through the process. You're not going to see it immediately. And if you do see it immediately, it's less fulfilling. You want to be at a low so that you can only go higher.
Okay. So, that makes sense.
Kirk Cousins next year, 4,500 yards, 40 touchdowns guaranteed.
So you think he's having a comeback type year?
Yeah, bro.
Okay. I respect it.
I think it'll be calm. I think it'll be good. I think we're gonna mesh the run game more with the pass game, so it won't be, and hopefully he won't have to move as much because of his injuries and stuff. But,
which is facts. Okay, I can respect it. You guys are doing 10 times better than my team, the Giants.
hey,
Yeah,
at least
it's tough.
at least y'all got a Super Bowl, bro. And Malik Neighbors.
He's a
Upcoming.
stud.
What a goat. What a dog. What a dog.
As soon as we get him a good quarterback, I think we set.
You don't think Daniel Jones is that guy?
He just got cut. Bro, like, come on.
Sign him back, bro. Sign him back. He's working on it. Next year's his year.
Next year's his year. I don't know about that one, but like I'm just saying, with one of the new quarterbacks in the draft, I feel like we could go far.
Yeah,
like
probably.
Cam Ward or whether it's Shador Sanders. I feel like we could go far with one of those two guys, bro.
Yeah, that's not crazy. I'm personally not big on the quarterbacks in this draft, but
Who's like your go-to player for number one? in this draft?
Travis Hunter.
Travis
Easy.
Hunter.
Travis Hunter. He's such a dog because he's doing stuff like people would do in like flag football, like playing both sides and playing it well. He's doing that, but like at a collegiate level, which is crazy. Like literally nothing he has done has ever been replicated ever. Like, and I love Ashton Genty. However, I think it was justified that Travis Hunter got the Heisman because literally nothing about what he has done has ever been done before. And of course, Ashton Genty is generational talent in college, but it has been done before by Barry Sanders and stuff. So
I mean, the only other person in history that I could think at the college level that did what Travis Hunter did was Charles Woodson.
and he didn't even do it for real. He had like 200 yards receiving. He was like a gimmick. He wasn't even like a leading receiver on the team.
Wait, and how the hell did he win the Heisman then? I'm so
Because
confused.
he was a dog on defense though. He had a lot of interceptions. He had made a lot of plays on the defensive side. And not to say Charles Woodson was bad on offense, but he wasn't doing what Travis Hunter was doing, like being a number one option for a okay offense. The offense was actually pretty good.
It was decent enough this year. At least to get them to 9 wins this season.
Exactly.
But, I mean, that's tracks. But going on our next topic, man. Super Bowl Sunday's coming near, bro.
It is.
It is so close. And, all the storylines that are, like, coming close to this game, man. The Chiefs having, of course, their chance to do what's never been done before.
Mm-hmm.
A free-peat. People are going to put Mahomes in the GOAT conversation potentially with this game.
And that's not crazy. And it's not crazy to say that at all. It's not crazy to say that at all. He's better than Tom Brady.
He's better than Tom Brady. You're saying that right now.
I'm saying it today.
But, like, it's 7 Super Bowls versus
4 already, though. Or 3?
It's 3 right now.
He got
4 if
3,
wins on
and he
Sunday.
ain't even 30 years old, bro. He got 3 and he ain't even 30. And, I'm a Patrick Mahomes sexual. I'm happily that. Back in 2017, I told my dog Miller, I was like, Patrick Mahomes, he's going to be the next GOAT. And look at how that's looking out. The trajectory is only going up. And he's only getting exponentially better. And even if he has a mid-regular season, which I think it's crazy that people are saying this regular season was mid, even though he's the number 1 seed in the AFC.
I mean,
the hardest division in the league. But nonetheless, I think the way he can turn it on in the playoffs is spectacular. And it's similar to what Tom Brady had, where you just have a win factor about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I could see where you're going with that one, man. According to his standards, he didn't have a good season, but it was still decent by any other QB standard. And the man has not missed an AFC championship game ever in his entire career.
Like, that's crazy.
Which is crazy. Every single year he started, he brought them to the AFC championship game.
Like, that's a dog. And
That's
people are like really big about the Chiefs are favored by the whole NFL. I think people who say that aren't really watching the games. Because they say like, oh, the Chiefs get more penalties than all other teams. And like that's why they're more hated than the Patriots. That's probably like one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life, bro. That's probably the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Because Tom Brady literally won like 2 or 3 Super Bowls purely based off refs favoring him. Like the Tuck Rule game. Like people don't talk about that enough. Tom Brady. I may be biased.
Versus the Raiders?
I absolutely am biased because he beat my Falcons in the Super Bowl. as you wanted to mention. However, but the tuck rule, the deflate gate, and spy gate, those are three really bad, like those are all like cheating. He's dead cheating. He's dead cheating.
Dead cheating? I mean, shoot, bro.
He's dead
You
cheating.
got a point there. I want to say, like, no making accusations until they're proven, bro, but, like, I
The
don't
tuck
know, bro.
no, and it's like
I
a
don't
general consensus about the tuck rule that was probably one of the stupidest ways for someone to win a Super Bowl. And then Deflategate, that was like dead proven
In the mid-2010s,
in
bro?
the mid
Oh my
2010s.
gosh.
And then the Spygate, where they were literally spying on other people's sidelines and had their cameras focused on the other team's sideline. Like, that's
Wait.
crazy.
Wasn't that what Michigan did last season or 2 seasons ago?
Exactly.
Oh, man.
And that was a whole big thing, but people don't talk about that enough with Tom Brady. And all respect to Tom Brady, of course, what he did for 20 plus years. Insane. However, for people to like hate on Patrick Mahomes because he like the refs favor him and like things out of his control like Taylor Swift dating Travis Kelce, like that's really when all the hate for Patrick Mahomes started, is because Taylor Swift. And I'm not a fan. I actually hate their relationship. However, it's not a detriment. It shouldn't be a detriment to Patrick Mahomes.
It
What a
shouldn't be, like, and you know the rest of his family, right? Like, they make him look bad on social media.
Yeah, they make
Jackson
him.
and
Yeah, they
Brittany
make him
and
look
stuff
terrible.
like that.
They make him look
And-
terrible.
Yeah, it's not because, like, I'm kind of salty, too, because as well as being, like, a New York Giants fan, I'm also a Buffalo Bills fan. And the fact that he beats us every year, like, we can
Exactly.
never
Like-
get over that hump.
He's so good, bro. He's so good.
It's just,
so good.
I'm kind of salty for that, but I could kind of see where you're coming from with that whole, narrative. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
So-
he's a cheater. And like, I understand like the perception of in these high intensity games that a lot of flags are called, but the flags are called on both sides first off, and we don't think enough about the fact that Patrick Mahomes is able to get into these high intensity games, because there are bad calls in all games. There are bad calls in a Giants versus Jets game. There will be a bad call and it'll favor one team. The only reason why people emphasize it on the Chiefs is because the Chiefs are always in really high stakes games. They're always really in the midst of like getting a title, and it's a win or lose scenario for a Super Bowl or like an AFC championship or something of the sorts. So it's less of a testament of the refs favoring them, and it's more just ability of purely just Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid too. But that's just a one man's opinion, man. I think he's the GOAT already.
You think
personally.
he's a go already? I mean,
Yeah.
some people are quick to say it's too early, but like I can't even argue with that. 7 to 8 straight AFC championships.
Like, that's
you got
crazy.
almost 4 Super Bowls.
Like I feel like it's a similar thing with like LeBron and Jordan, like where LeBron made the finals like I don't even know. I don't know the exact stat, but it was like from like 2016 or like 2014 to like made the playoffs or like made a championship like
No,
9 or 10 years in a row.
It
Like
was-
that's crazy.
yeah,
that's insane. That's great. That's crazy work.
It
That's
was
crazy
like
work.
it was 2010 all the way to 2018. I'm
Like
pretty
that's
sure.
crazy. That's insane. That's like insane consistency.
It
and
is.
just that stretch of consistency by one player is like hasn't been replicated. And I feel because you can win a Super Bowl, you can win a ring, just like how Robert Ory won. Like he has like 7 NBA rings, and he wasn't a significant contributor like that. He wasn't like a star player at all times. So you can win rings, I guess, but like being consistent in that way, consistently like the best QB in the league. Like how long has he been in the league, Patrick Mahomes?
He's been in the league since 2017.
So like
So like
8 years, 7, 8
8
years.
yeah.
Like that's crazy. He's been since he's been starting, he's been the best QB in the league, which is crazy.
just fair to say. But like the only argument I would say I have towards the whole GOAT conversation and stuff like that is that Patrick Mahomes his first regular season loss was to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
First postseason loss was to Tom Brady. And then third in the Super Bowl, his only Super Bowl loss ever, right now as we were speaking, is to Tom Brady. So how can you be discussed as a GOAT if you never beaten the GOAT? That's just something that I've always had with me. Because the main reason why people are like, oh, LeBron is better than Jordan or Jordan's better than LeBron is because these two have never gone up against each other. But we're living in an era, right, where we have the privilege of watching these two players go up against each other, and they're two of the greatest of all time. Straight up. But if Mahomes has never been the greatest of all time, I don't know how we could put him in that conversation. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to me. That's just my argument.
And, I would agree with you. However, in neither one of those games, or I'm gonna specifically talk about the Super Bowl. In that game, Patrick Mahomes was far and away the better player in that game. He had just no help. He had no offensive line that game. And it was more the Buccaneers defense that beat Patrick Mahomes than Tom Brady directly. It was just a better formulated team, essentially, that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were at that time. And Patrick Mahomes was running for his life. And that's another thing about the discourse around Patrick Mahomes. Back then, when Patrick Mahomes was going against Tom Brady, everybody was rooting for Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? Like, everybody, it's literally the only reason why people hate on Patrick Mahomes and, like, think he's worse, yada, 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 is because Tom Brady's now no longer in the league, and we need somebody to hate. But to your point about, like, that whole GOAT thing, I think it's less about winning, because winning is a team effort. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But Patrick Mahomes' singular ability and his just what he can do on a football field is far and away better than what I've seen Tom Brady do. Like, he is able to pick apart a defense, like staying in a pocket, like what Tom Brady was able to do. And then he can do everything outside the pocket as well. He's like a toned down Michael Vick almost.
Toned down Michael Vick's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Toned down Michael Vick.
We gotta relax.
Combined with like a toned down, like a tier below Michael Vick and then a tier below Tom Brady. Okay. If those were meshed together. Okay. And that would literally be the perfect QB.
Perfect QB. Okay. I can respect it, but we gotta calm down. Like Michael Vick, I know you said tone down, but come on now.
But but Patrick Mahomes, he's not a runner, of course.
He's not Lamar Jackson.
He's not at all Lamar Jackson, and I won't compare him to Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick directly. However, Patrick Mahomes can run, bro. Like, people underrate how good Patrick Mahomes is at, like, getting out the pocket and scrambling, because literally, like, we see it so often. Like, we think Patrick Mahomes is cooked. Like, he has nothing down the field. He has nothing to throw to. He starts scrambling and doing some dumb stuff, and, like, we don't even know what he's doing. And then he scrambles for, like, 10, 15 yards. And it looks like he's running slow. It looks like you should easily be able to catch him. But he knows the angles, and he's able to understand where he needs to be on the field in order to get the maximum amount of yards. And that's a really underrated ability.
I mean, that's what he did all throughout the Buffalo Bills game.
Exactly.
It seemed like the defense could never contain him inside that pocket. Exactly. And that's how they ultimately won the game, is that one quarterback was able to get out of that pocket. Well, Josh Allen, I didn't really see that one night, except for the QB sneaks. But
yeah, not to say, and this may be a hot take, but I think I think Josh Allen is probably the third or fourth best QB in the league. I'm not gonna lie.
Who's better?
Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow.
Which is respectful. They all had crazy years.
They all had crazy years, and I think it's just like the talk about how Josh Allen is far and away better than Lamar Jackson this season. Yada yada yada. Crazy to me.
It's crazy. It's just respectful.
Crazy. Because although Joe Burrow, he didn't have the team success, but if Joe Burrow played or statistically is better than both. Is statistically better than Josh Allen.
But he just didn't have a good enough defense.
Yeah, he His defense was trash.
It was terrible. I mean, they let up, 38 to 41 points against the Commanders that 1 week.
Terrible.
It was
Not to say the Commanders are terrible or a bad team, but to let up 41 points to the Commanders is embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. I mean, this was before Jane Daniels was really like taking off like that too. But it is what it is.
Terrible.
Next topic though is X factors for the Super Bowl. Like, what are you looking forward to seeing? I know we are already talking about the storylines with Patrick Mahomes and stuff like that, but like, what are you like more interested in seeing in the game, and like, who do you think is gonna go off X factors?
I'm gonna start with the Eagles. My boy Saquon Barkley. My dog. This is why I find this Super Bowl to be a hard thing to be able to root for me personally, because I was a day one Patrick Mahomes fan, and then I was also a day one Saquon Barkley fan.
Mm-hmm.
And no offense to your Giants, but he was never able to be unlocked. And the fact that once he gets like a good offensive line, he's literally like easily the best running back in the league.
Easily,
he's so good. So if he could have like a 150, 100, 200 yard game, something like that, I think it would be very hard for the Chiefs to like come back from that, because the Eagles are really good at keeping possession of the ball, like doing a slow, methodical, beat you to the ground type of play.
Mm-hmm.
And we have seen in the past a team like the Buccaneers, who were slower and methodical, be able to beat the Chiefs and a weaker Chiefs team, as it's kind of viewed like this season that this is a weaker Chiefs team.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm looking at Saquon Barkley for sure. On the Chiefs side, besides Patrick Mahomes, I would say probably the Chiefs' offensive line, really.
Offensive line.
Because we know the Eagles have some dogs on the defensive front, bro. They have like 7, 8 or so like starting caliber defensive front. Like just their linebackers, their line, interior offense or defensive line, excuse me. Like they have some dogs up there. Jalen Carter, like dogs. And so we would need the Chiefs offensive line to step up and make sure to quell that for sure.
I agree with some of the stuff you were saying, and especially with Saquon, even though, it sucks to say this, but he is definitely flourishing on that Eagles team. Some of the plays that he's been making all season long, like, you remember that backwards hurdle he had against the Rams?
He's so stupid good, bro. Oh my Lord.
My mouth was just hanging out. I was like, what? The stuff that he was doing, he was like Barry Sanders out there.
No, genuinely, like, similar to what I was saying about Patrick Mahomes, he's such a generational talent just at the running back position. Mm-hmm. Like him being 6 foot, like 230 some pounds, runs a 4.4,
big quads,
like insane quads, insane balance. Just he like has everything you would want in a running back, and I'm really glad he's able to be on the Philadelphia Eagles so that people could realize that. He was the most talented running back in the league for years now. He just didn't get the opportunity for it.
Yeah, because he didn't have the good offensive line.
Did not.
But along with Saquon, I feel like his other Eagles teammate Jalen Hurts is the next factor.
Yeah.
The way he can throw the ball is definitely going to be one too. We already know what he could do rushing.
This is true.
He's going to be able to get tush pushed in there. He could scramble outside the pocket, get it a first down, get a touchdown, stuff like that. But the way he's throwing, that's the X factor right there.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah. I'm unsure actually about Jalen Hurts and his throwing ability, because not to say he's a bad quarterback, I just don't think he's top tier necessarily. I think that his situation around him is definitely benefiting him a lot. Him having 2 number 1 caliber receivers with A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, and then a top tight end with Dallas Goedert, and then the best offensive line in the league, and then also the best running back in the league. Like he has a great situation around him for sure. And so yeah, I'm curious to see if they try to rely on Jalen Hurts because he has been to a Super Bowl before. He has that Super Bowl experience, and he played well in that Super Bowl against the Chiefs as well. So, I'm wondering how much they're going to rely on him and his leadership abilities, his little how he loves to speak in Instagram quotations and whatnot. And
I've been posting those a lot recently.
Man, Mister. The league is what you make of it, head at. Nah, that's funny. But we'll see what he can do, bro. But I'm interested in the defense as well for the Eagles and the Chiefs because the Eagles got a great defense. They know what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball for sure. And we've seen the Chiefs been able to, like, in these past couple years, take a step forward when the Chiefs' offense has faltered with losing Tyreek. After Tyreek going to the Dolphins, we really saw the Chiefs take off with their defense. So I think the defense and how they can slow down slowing down explosive plays will be really important.
Another thing is that the Chiefs' defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, he's like a guru when it comes to stopping people.
He's really good.
Like, he's been able to stop, Russian quarterbacks like Josh Allen all season long. In the playoffs, he's been able to shut down guys like, Lamar Jackson and stuff like that. So, like, when it comes to, like, the Chiefs' defense, really, it comes down to him, but it also comes down to, I believe, their D-tackle, Chris Jones. Because if you can't generate pressure in the pocket and stop Saquon and his rushing ability up front and Jalen Hurts and his ability to throw, like, you're not going to win. It's just plain and simple, man. Like, you can't.
That's very true.
But, regardless, I feel like it's going to be a good game. The odds for right now is that it's going to be above 49 points
that's
in the
not
total
crazy.
game. You think that's accurate?
I don't think that's crazy at all.
You don't think?
I don't know how adept these defenses are to stop such high-scoring teams. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Last
Actually,
Super Bowl.
That's actually a really good line because the Chiefs, they've been more defensive oriented and they've had lower scoring games, scoring like 23 points, like 20 points around that. But I could very well see the Chiefs getting around 28 points and a similar number for the Eagles as well. So I would for sure take the over for that.
You take the over, okay. And right now, like, if we're looking at the spread, I think it's negative 1.5 for the Chiefs right now is the current line, but some other bettors have the Eagles up. I think FanDuel is one with that, but right now, I know we've been debating all these, like, different, like, aspects of, X factors in the game, but, like, who do you have right now in the game? Like, just plain and simple, who do you think is going to win?
I don't know. We've done this thing so many times, like, where we bet against Patrick Mahomes, Like, we bet against him last year. We bet against him the year before. Like, I don't know if I see a situation right now where the Chiefs are losing, Unless Saquon has a stellar game and the Eagles defense puts up a masterclass in stopping what Patrick Mahomes is able to do, I don't know if I really see Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs losing in this situation. Because, I don't know. And specifically, I'm talking a lot about Patrick Mahomes. However, I think the underrated part of the Chiefs is truly their defense and what Steve Spagnuolo, Trent McDuffie, Leo Chanel, Chris Jones, people like that, what they're able to do on the defensive side. So I'm taking the Chiefs for sure.
For me, I'm like, my heart is like twisted in this situation. Like, my heart says that, I want to go for the Eagles. Yeah. But at the end of the day, my head is like thinking, how can I ever in this world right now bet against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs? I just can't. You really can. When you look at the defense, they've been one of the best defenses all season long. Yeah, maybe the offense wasn't as good as it was, throughout the course of the season. But at the end of the day, we're still gonna find a way to win games.
Yeah.
And that's why right now I think I'm picking the Kansas City Chiefs. Straight up.
That's not crazy.
It is not a crazy comparison, but we're gonna have to see come Super Bowl Sunday. That's gonna be a great fun game to watch, man.
I'm excited for it.
I'm hella excited for it, man. And I'm gonna go over to the NBA because there were 2 significant trades happening this weekend.
Oh.
We're gonna start with the least exciting, though.
Oh, okay.
The least exciting. We got De'Aaron Fox getting traded to the Spurs for a huge return value. I believe included a free team trade that sent Zach LaVine over to Sacramento.
Oh.
So it's a very interesting trade. I mean, what do you think about that? The Spurs get their partner next to Wemby.
I saw something on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
It was saying it was like pairing up Levi Ackerman from Attack on Titan with Aaron, and I couldn't agree more. Their complementary styles is like De'Aaron Fox is probably like the person to pair with Victor Wembanyama besides maybe Trae Young.
Why do you say that?
Because De'Aaron Fox's style is to get to the rack, beat people with speed, get around players, and lay it up, or if he's attacked at the rim, dump it down into the post or kick it out to a shooter. And Victor Wembanyama is the guy you want in the post to be able to just shoot over people, with his long ass limbs. But anyway, because he's so massive guy, but because he's such a big presence in the paint, I think he's really good pairing with De'Aaron Fox because they both are able to work off each other because De'Aaron Fox goes into the paint often. Victor Wembanyama can also do a pick and pop role and be able to do what he's been doing great this season, which is shoot a three, take a person off the dribble or take a big man off the dribble if he wants to. So I think it's a great position to be in. I think it's almost like people were saying like pairing Chris Paul with Victor Wembanyama is like pairing up Lob City
with like Blake Griffin
Blake Griffin and all that. It would be a whole bunch of lobs, Lob City 2.0 almost. I think there's potential for sure for that with De'Aaron Fox with his younger athleticism and such. And then you also do they still have Chris Paul?
They still do have Chris Paul. I think he's going to move to the back, lineup, I think.
And that, which is great because you keep his leadership presence in that locker room and such.
Very true. And he gets to lead out that second unit, which he was amazing with at Golden State.
He was.
And, it's a main successor to why that team was, successful throughout the course of that season. But also, the Kings get potentially a good return back. They got Zach LaVine. They got multiple first-round picks. I think it was 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks as well. They got a good return back for that. So,
I think unlike a future trade we're going to talk about, it was definitely an even trade on both sides for sure. I think the Kings getting Zach LaVine, who I think is kind of on a little bit of a down season this season. But being able to get those 3 first-round picks and then also 3 second-round picks, which will all be right around that, because I personally don't think the Spurs are going to be winning any hardware anytime soon, unfortunately. So those picks will be around that 10 to 20, first round 10 to 20 range, which I think will be a good investment for the Kings as long as they can draft properly, of course.
Right now, their record is 9th in the Western Conference. Maybe it could be enough to help turn around their season. Maybe it doesn't.
Dang.
But this is how I view the trade right now. Right now, in the present, I think the Spurs won this trade because they got Victor Wembanyama, their go-to, scorer. They got some help for him. You added Chris Paul to the backup lineup, which helps your secondary guys as well. But if we're talking about more of like the long term and how this is gonna work out over the course of the next couple of seasons, you gotta go with the Kings because like you don't replace him for that bad of a player in Zach LaVine. Plus, you get free first round picks and free second round picks.
This is true.
So in the long term run, man, how can you not go with the Kings?
Yeah, that's not.
That's
crazy.
my view.
That's not crazy. It's not crazy.
It is not. And the Bulls got Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and their own 2025 pick via the Sacramento Kings. So.
And that's not crazy. That's not bad.
It's not crazy.
I mean, but I feel like the mainstays in this trade, the main events was for sure De'Aaron Fox and then Zach LaVine.
Mm-hmm.
Bulls got their own. They were probably the losers within this three-way trade, but it could have been worse.
It could have been a lot worse, Could have been like the next trade we're going to talk about. You and me are going to like this because me and you are both Lakers fans, and we got our star for the future, bro.
My GOAT.
Our GOAT, man. I mean...
Well, not my GOAT.
Not your GOAT.
However, he's the next best thing.
The next
gets paired
best thing.
with a upcoming GOAT in Luka Doncic.
Oh.
Like, that's so crazy.
It is crazy. This came out of nowhere, bro. Nobody expected this.
Literally pairing LeBron with a more offensive LeBron. Like,
Literally,
that's so stupid.
Literally, no,
so
that's not stupid though.
That's
not
like,
stupid at all.
Oh my god,
man,
what are we doing?
He's 25 years old and he could already have a resume to get into the Hall of Fame, bro.
Like, man,
how can you? That's
we're
not
almost
stupid.
guys almost averaging a triple double on the season, and we're trading him away for an aging AD. Like, come on, man. And obviously, this brings up implications about struggles on defense, which the Lakers have always had, and struggles with big men. Mm-hmm. However, it's Luka Doncic. You don't trade him. That's like one of the untouchables of the league, bro. You don't trade away Luka, bro.
I mean, if you're gonna trade Luka Doncic, at least trade him for another superb, superstar player, not Anthony Davis, but like Giannis,
like
Jokic level
like
guys.
Come on, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what was going through their mind, to be honest, because that's what I don't know. If this is the trend of the league, let Giannis come to the Lakers.
Let Giannis come to the Lakers.
You know you want to be in the warm of LA. You know you want to see Hollywood. We're going through some fires right now. However, you bring the coldness to us. Hello.
That's a new line right there, man.
But I don't know what the Mavs were doing. I don't know what they're doing, bro. That was crazy. Seeing that was crazy. Seeing that on my timeline was crazy.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
an aging, is that what's going to put you over the hump? An aging Anthony Davis, an old Kyrie, and then an old Klay Thompson? That's three washed players, if you really think about it, not in their prime at all. And you're trading Luka, who's in his prime, and about to have go off in the next 5. Yeah, it made no sense to me, man.
It made no sense.
Because you think he's fat? All because he had one too many Twinkies, bro? Come on, bro. That's crazy.
He's not conditioned, is what they're trying to say.
But he's still having just as good of a season. What are we doing, bro? That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
My problem is in football, maybe if you're fat, it's a problem. In basketball, it does not matter.
Yeah.
Because we see Jokic. He's not athletic.
Jokic is the best player in the league, and he's big.
He can't even jump, and he's having a 30-point triple-double.
Come on, man.
What are you talking about?
Oh, my Lord.
What are we talking about over here, man?
Lakers.
What are the Mavs doing?
Lakers to the chip, bro.
Goodness.
I won't say that, but Lakers are they just got their future star, and now I can actually start being more of a fan of the Lakers, bro. I'm so happy about that.
Yeah, because before this trade, there was a conversation.
It was bleak out there for Lakers fans, man. It was boring. It was just LeBron. Bronny, that was the whole discourse around the Lakers, Davis. And not even though it was really just I was getting tired of these stupid Bronny edits on TikTok. These father son, you are my sunshine TikToks, bro. I was done.
Have you seen all the memes Bronny is an untouchable to the Lakers right now?
Yeah. Man.
I can't believe it, but like
Bryce James is better.
Zaya way better. They coming.
Zaya way better for real.
But this is what it looks like right now to me. They just got their next superstar in Luka Doncic, because before this trade happened, there was like a serious conversation to be made on like who's the future going to be after LeBron James retires.
This is true.
Now you got your answer.
Right.
Now you got your answer.
And the Mavs lost their answer.
And they lost their answer.
Like, you didn't even gain. You had questions like all across your team. For the Mavs talking about. You had questions across your team. Is Clay going to be able to regain his form? What will Kyrie do tonight? Is Luka going to stay healthy? And then you trade away Luka, and it answers none of your problems. It only creates new questions. Like, it's so... It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense.
It made no sense, bro. I mean...
Lakers on top. Lakers on top, bro.
I mean, I'll say this right now. Right now, in the moment, it's not that bad. And here's why.
Yeah.
Because the Dallas Mavericks win this in, like, the short term. And, like, the next year, maybe two, the Mavericks have won this trade.
Maybe.
And here's why. Because they got their defense more elite. They got a superb center for maybe the next couple of years.
Yeah.
And they're in win-now mode. Meanwhile, the Lakers have won for the next 10 to 15 years.
Right.
They've won now.
And I'm going to disagree with you here. I don't even think the Mavs won in the short term.
How not?
Because they lost their offensive engine. Like, they're bolstering up a defense that was already pretty decent and then losing the engine of their offense. And they were never going to be a contender this season. I don't know what their goal exactly was. Was their goal to go from, what is their standing? Probably like around like 7, 8 in the West.
In the West right now, it seems like they're 8th in the West.
8th in the West. You're not going from the 8th in the West to 3rd in the West because you added Anthony Davis and lost Luka. Like, that's not that's not even how you're. I don't even know if they're thinking short term. Like, I don't know what their plan is with this trade, because they're not gonna be. If you want to win in the short term, winning in the short term means contending for the championship. They're not adding Anthony Davis is not making you contend, and losing Luka Doncic is not making you contend.
Definitely not.
It makes no sense to me.
Only thing I can say is that their defense did get better.
Absolutely. No, I will agree with this. And defense does win championships. However, the whole point of the game is scoring more than your opponent. You know?
Very, very true. I couldn't have said it anymore. I mean, I still feel like Kyrie and Anthony Davis on the pick and roll can somewhat do something. Like, come on.
Yeah,
it's not
but you already
bad.
had Derek Lively in that role. Derek Lively is not going out to the perimeter, and I understand AD gives you something on the from the 3-point line, but Anthony Davis and Derek Lively are a similar mold of player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Anthony Davis is a tier above Derek Lively, but they're the same type of player. You're just adding another more skilled, more experienced Derek Lively to your team, in my opinion, and then losing one of the best, probably the second best offensive engine in the league right now behind Jokic. Like, what he brings, yeah, I don't know. And then, I won't say the Lakers are going to contend this year. However, now they have something to contend with in the future.
They do. I mean,
they have something to contend with in the future, and then they're building up their offense too. Like, man,
I mean, they must this single trade, bro, may have just extended LeBron's career.
Like,
single-handedly.
Literally, LeBron, and plus they could do what OKC is doing, like a. However, Luka isn't as good on defense as Shea, but they could do a small ball lineup, like which the Lakers have done before, and they have LeBron at center or LeBron at power forward, and then I don't know, man.
Run a pick and roll screen with them too.
Like, Luka Doncic and LeBron on a pick and roll is probably one of the scariest things.
It is scary because one way or another you're gonna have to guard both of them.
One way or another you're gonna have to guard an offensive juggernaut. Like, yeah. And so both of whom can pass like crazy, are one of the best passers in the league. Like two of the best score. Like, oh man,
And
man.
imagine
My
Luka
God.
off the pick and pop because he's a shooter too, bro.
Exactly.
You gotta guard him from way down up there, bro. And imagine LeBron passing like that. I already see the vision, bro.
Like, yeah.
I already see the vision. I
Man.
think single-handedly, it's the biggest trade in NBA history at this moment. And there's been a lot of good
probably
trades.
the worst trade in NBA history.
It's the worst, but also the most like notable trade in NBA history, especially for the
Really?
Lakers franchise.
I actually will disagree with you. I think LeBron going to no, that wasn't a trade. I'm capping.
No,
I'm
he
capping.
wasn't traded in his career.
That's actually thinking about it. That's not crazy. Saying it's the most notable. That's not crazy.
Because
That's not crazy.
right now
what
it's
are we doing, Mavs? What are we doing, man? Mark Cuban,
Man.
lock in, bro.
People-
Lock in, bro. What
Yo.
are you doing? You're letting your area go. You lost Dirk and
You must have
lost your way, man. Golly.
You
And
must
then you
have
got
been
your
drunk.
next Dirk or Dirk-like figure in Luca, and then you trade him away. Like, oh my
Literally
Lord.
the same European descent, same American, but just
Wow.
traded him away for pennies on the dollar.
Crazy.
I couldn't believe it. There was so many jokes going around that the Mavs lost his trade that we were like, oh, Jerry Jones owns the Mavericks. Oh,
For real?
Mark Cuban has been drinking on the job.
For real, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Because it's unbelievable. I couldn't believe it either, man.
Like, I saw something on Instagram as well. It was like saying 2K won't even accept this trade. Like, come on. It's like it doesn't even work in the 2K logic.
It doesn't?
Like, bro,
Like,
no.
have you tried it?
Yeah. It was showing like when you try to do this exact trade, it was like this compensation is not enough. Like, that's not.
That's how you know it got
Because it's
scammed.
not.
Oh
Come
my
on,
God.
bro. Come on, bro.
Oh
If
my
2K's
God.
calling you stupid,
There's a
you
problem.
gotta lock in, bro.
There's
You
a
gotta
problem.
lock in, bro. Dang.
Nah, but that's a problem, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
That's a
this must have been like not even a 2K trade. This is like beyond.
This is somebody's fantasy. This played out somebody's fantasy of getting Luca and LeBron together.
Probably is.
Not real.
Probably
this is the
this-
Matrix.
The
'Cause
Matrix.
No way, bro.
No way, I can't. Okay, that's. I mean, it's still insane, bro. But like, also we gotta look at some of the other trades that could potentially happen too, because like we're not even at the deadline yet. It's
It's
coming up soon, but it's still not there. And notable guys are like Jimmy Butler, who's
Okay.
been suspended without pay right now. The Miami Heat are trying to look for a trade with him. Potentials
Interesting.
could be the Golden State Warriors, but they're
Hey,
in
come to the
talks.
Lakers, man. Come to
the
the
Lakers
man.
gotta get everybody.
Hey, get everybody.
You gotta get everybody.
Get the whole All-Star team at this point.
Get the whole gang up back together.
But the Warriors, that's not crazy.
it's not. I mean, like, what team would you want to see Jimmy Butler go to?
A more defensive-minded wing like Jimmy Butler. I would like to see him with Giannis, low key. I feel like on the Bucks. I don't know. I feel like Jimmy Butler is just a buck. You know what I
think
mean?
so.
Is that crazy?
Yeah,
I think so.
I mean, the problem is like finding value for Jimmy Butler.
That's
because
true.
like he's old, bro. He's like
He's
what,
old.
35 years old.
Yeah, we need to get some youngins in the league, bro.
That's-
We need to get some young dogs, young bulls.
That's true. And like, what would like the value be for Jimmy Butler? Like realistically, because his contract only goes for another season or two, right? His next contract will probably be his last in the NBA. You think?
Probably. I would say because he's teetering on the end of his career and such, and he hasn't had a crazy impact on the Heat right now. I would say maybe 1-2 first round picks and then a player swap as well.
A player swap.
Yeah.
And what team do you think could probably like fill that potential for them? And like would be probably the best fit, like realistically speaking.
I personally wouldn't want him on my Warriors, bro. But because I feel like Anthony Wiggins kind of plays that role in a way, like a defensive-minded wing that can also do something on the offensive side.
Mm-hmm.
But I could very well see a trade of Anthony Wiggins to the Heat or Anthony Wiggins and like a first-round pick for Jimmy Butler right now.
Okay, that's respectable. That's respectful. I would probably see a second round pick, maybe 2 second round picks, and maybe a player swap, like you said, and it would probably get done because, like you said, he's at the end of his career, stuff like that, and yada yada. Okay, I'm gonna go to my last topic because I know we're all busy, we're all on schedule, but like, we gotta discuss March Madness, bro. At least one. Like, what you thinking? It's coming up. You know, all the teams are there. You know, UConn is there. You know, USC. For both men's and women's brackets, I want to hear your status on who do you think is gonna be.
Because I'm so knowledgeable about the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always gonna go with Duke.
Duke.
I don't know. My uncle, he's a big Duke fan, and also I've been watching Cooper Flag since like high school. So last year, or like which the crazy thing about it, he's like my age, or younger, which is crazy.
Wait, how old are you? 19?
19.
Damn.
I think he's younger than me. Which is crazy. But he's a dog. What he's doing as a freshman at Duke is crazy, bro. He has like these 40-point games. Like, as a freshman, he's doing better than people like Zion Williamson, who was touted as like the best since LeBron, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's doing that and more, which is crazy. He's a dog. He's a dog.
Right now, Duke is second right now in top 25 right now. We're only behind that of Auburn. And I feel like my sneaky pick would probably be Alabama. Because they have so much unity. They have so many seniors and guys from like the years past. Nobody really went to the league last year. Only person that went to the league recently was Brandon Miller, and that was like 2 years ago. It was in the same draft as before Victor Wembanyama.
Right.
So that's something to note of. But also the fact that, you know, that team has so much seniority and they've been good for a number of years now.
This is true.
They've not just been good like recently. It's just like I feel like they have potential, you know, to go way far.
Yeah, that's not crazy.
Way far in the men's division. But what about the women's? What are you thinking?
You know, man. I don't know.
I mean, do you watch mainly the women's bracket, or?
I wouldn't say I'm necessarily a big college basketball person. However, whenever my hometown teams are in the running, I'm always gonna root for USC, UCLA, specifically UCLA. Great basketball school. On the men's side, having people like Westbrook, having people like Kareem, and so we will see.
We'll see.
Juju Watkins for USC.
A dog, by the way.
Cook up.
A dog.
And so she gonna cook up.
She is gonna cook.
She gonna cook up.
I'm telling you, she's gonna be getting a deep run. I feel like, in my opinion, she's gonna make it to the Final Four, unless she goes up against a team like freaking, you know, USC or, you know, University of South Carolina. That's what I call my USC.
I got
But
you.
also, you know, guys like Ohio State, maybe Texas.
I was about to say USC. Hey,
hold on.
Watch out now.
Watch out now.
Hello.
Not that, but
That's funny.
like I said, you got 2 good teams right there. One that's number 1 in UCLA, and one in USC, which is number 7. But my sneaky pick,
My dogs.
the team I'm always gonna be rooting for are my dogs. The UConn Huskies. They always are going to be.
Yeah.
Because their only 2 losses are sincere. Like, it's not really something you're going to, like, freak out about. It was, like, to Hannah Delgado, I'm pretty sure her name is, in Notre Dame. And then Juju Watkins at USC.
And these are
which
dogs.
that game
These are great games.
That one game against USC was Paige's, like, biggest flock, but it wasn't her best game by any standards.
Are you a big Paige Buchers fan?
She's my favorite player, bro.
Hey,
She's my favorite player in WNBA.
She's a dog too.
College basketball. She has been a dog since she's got to UConn.
Yeah.
Hell, she's been a dog ever since high school, bro.
That's
like,
true.
you get at this point, like, she's gonna go number 1 in next year's draft. That's for one. And another thing is that she can bring this team together in unity. I feel like this has been our best year with this much talent. I mean, you may not know her, but Sarah Strong, she's a freshman and she's already up for award there. You know, Gino, the coach, has been there since the 80s, bro. 40 plus years.
40 years, man.
40
That's
years.
a long time to do one thing, man.
I know, but he's like Nick Saban, bro.
Right.
When it comes to developing talent. He's that good.
I don't know if I would say Nick Saban, brother.
Listen,
I don't
look at
know
some
if
of
I
the
would
players.
say Nick
I can-
Saban, brother.
Listen.
I'm an Alabama fan myself, and
wow.
Nick Saban's a dog, man. Nick Saban's that guy.
Bro, Gino's that guy. You want me to list some of the players that he's coached, bro? I can list you so many right now.
You know,
Sue Bird, Diana Tuarsi. Sorry if I spelled that wrong. Maya Moore, Brianna Stewart,
Nick
Nafisa
Saban
Collier.
though. Hey, maybe I need to read up on bro. I need to read up on Gino, man.
You need it, bro. I'm telling you, he's just been that good. He puts people in the league.
All right.
Like Saban does. Simple.
That's true.
And you guys gotta check that out too. You guys gotta watch at least a game this season. You're gonna know what I'm talking about when you see a game. And I put that on everything. I put that on everything. I swear to God.
All right.
I swear to God.
All right.
I swear to God.
If you say so.
If I say so, 100%.
Nick
bro.
Saban.
I like Nick Saban. Gino Auriemma. Know the name. Know the name.
Know the name.
He's
bro.
that dog too, bro. Straight up.
All right.
Straight
If you
up.
say so, man.
I'm telling you, bro. But like I said, I'm gonna wrap it up there. I know you got class in a little bit, man. But
Yeah.
I do want to say thank you so much, bro, for coming onto this podcast. You're the third person that's ever done this with me, man. And right now I'm climbing this thing to the top, bro. It's been very, very fun to have you on the podcast, bro. And thank you so much. If you want to say anything, any shout outs and stuff like that, just say it to the camera, and you know I got you.
I want to express my appreciation. I was meant to come earlier, but things got in the way. You know what I mean? I'm grateful to be able to be with someone that's very charismatic and is open to lets the other person take the lead sometimes, because I know I can talk too much. So I appreciate that for you letting me cook, if you will. So yeah, I think you just need to keep on going, bro. Like
I gotta keep on going.
Keep on grinding. Keep doing what you love. Keep doing what you appreciate, and people will see that you love and appreciate it.
Yeah, hopefully, man. I'm trying to grow this thing from the bottom, get to the top. Hopefully, ESPN calls my favorite one day. Like I've been saying on all my podcasts, but like, yeah,
ESPN?
bro, it's really the grind from the bottom.
ESPN.
ESPN. Call this dude up.
Peep
He
game.
legit.
Peep game. Lock in, bro.
Peep game, lock in.
Peep game, lock
That's
in,
a new
guys.
phrase right there, bro. Right, signature right there. But like I said, thank you, bro, so much for getting on the podcast, bro. You've been amazing, man.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, bro. All right.
Hey.
And this is CJ Luna. You've been watching Game Day Gridiron, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. Dog.
Fire.
Absolutely fire.
That's cool.
Great. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you for having me, man.